Before I worked with Jordan, I had a completely horrible experience. I was applying to jobs, just throwing my resume anywhere and everywhere. I actually applied to like 400 positions and I only had 3 interviews, and all of those 3 interviews were crappy. One was so crappy to the point where I just turned it down immediately. So after that, I was like, I really need to hire a coach. After working with him, it was like night and day. Like I was like way more strategic and targeted in my roles, and I had a lot more positive feedback. Even to the companies that didn't hire me, they were like, "Oh my God, we love your brand. You're so amazing. It's just you don't have this X, Y, and Z experience." I definitely gained a lot of value from working with Jordan. I would say the most valuable thing that I've learned was about networking. I always saw networking as this like, oh, this black and white, like, oh, I gotta go and sell myself. But it's really more than that. Like, it's really about connecting and meeting people. I don't feel alone anymore. And I have a very strong network of accountants all over the world that are very authentic. Like, first I started meeting people that were like in New Zealand and the UK. But I have a lot of people in California now. I'm in this mastermind group of bookkeepers. They're like all authentic and funny and they have fun. And I never would have found that if it wasn't for Jordan. The tangible results, there were so many of them. From sending my custom cover letter and my resume from day one, like people would respond to me like the same day or the next day, like as soon as they got in the office. And from that first interaction, it's like, oh my God, we love your resume. Like you're one of a kind. I remember sharing one employer with Jordan. He was like, you made my day with everything that you did. It was above and beyond. And I asked him questions about where I stood amongst the competition. And he said not only was I in the top 1% based on what I did, but I was one of a kind based on everything I did that set me apart. And I was like, ooh. I applied to like 23 jobs and I got like 6 interviews for those 23 jobs, to the point where I had to stop applying to interviews because I was getting so many interviews and so many second round interviews. I had to be like, okay, no more, because I was stressed with all the interviews that I was getting. And not only was it interviews, but it was good interviews with good companies that I really liked their brand. It's just like night and day. Like I said, night and day from where I started. Even the job is like night and day from all the other jobs that I've had in accounting. The clients are great. I love them. Like the whole team is great. So it's just like a really good opportunity that I landed, and I'm really grateful. If you have reservations about going with a coach, don't. It is definitely worth the investment. Like, for example, I'm working with a personal trainer now. And yeah, I can get up at 6 a.m. and do my little YouTube videos or whatever. Like, but I'm not gonna push myself as hard as I do with the personal trainer. He's gonna see stuff that I'm not gonna see. And it's the same with any kind of coach that you're gonna work with, whether it's a career coach or personal trainer or anything. You're paying for their knowledge, their expertise, and they're gonna push you and they're gonna make you grow. Don't think the coach is gonna do all the work. It's still up to you and your own drive and determination. You gotta want it. If you don't want it, you're not gonna be successful, point blank. You gotta be patient, you gotta be determined, and you just gotta want it. So if you're up to that, then yes, definitely invest in Jordan.